Your reputation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick.
Well, that was a clip from Top Gun Maverick, the latest installment of the Top Gun franchise, starring, of course, Tom Cruise. With more on this big summer blockbuster opening, I'm joined by Richard Crouse in Toronto. Richard, does Tom Cruise still have it?
He does. I'm calling Tom Cruise the last movie star. He is one of the few people, maybe the last person, who can get people lined up to see a movie. Top Gun opened on Wednesday. It's already done extraordinarily well in the movie theaters. I think this may be one of the films that gets people back in theaters again after the pandemic, because people are curious. Why did it take 36 years to release a sequel to a very popular movie from the 1980s? And, you know, why remake it at all, or why add another chapter to it at all? And the answer to all of that is because it's super fun. Top Gun Maverick continues the story of Maverick, the hotshot test pilot played by Tom Cruise in the original film. Now, one of the things that I liked about it, though, is that he's still a hotshot. He's still got all the character traits that made him so appealing in the first one, except now he's got some age on him as well. Tom Cruise is 59 years old, although he looks decades younger, but the character has regrets. He's got a past now that he has to think about and live up to. Unlike the first time around where he was just all arrogance, this time around he's tempered by a past, romantically, and a number of other, I don't want to give anything away, but there's a number of things that have happened that lead him to the place that he's in today, which is back at Top Gun, the training ground for test pilots, and he's in charge of 12 hotshot pilots that he has to try and rein in for a top secret mission. This movie, to me, is the perfect summer movie. The action sequences are super fun, and Tom Cruise once again delivers on stunts that actually look real and not like they were shot against a green screen.
So I read or heard somewhere that Tom Cruise wants this movie to stay in the theaters for at least 145 days so that everyone can see it. Is it as good as the first one? And for those people out there who may not have seen the first one, I think it was sold out when I went, so I saw Goonies instead or something. Will you still enjoy it? Do you need to see the first one?
No, I don't think you need to see the first one. I think if you do know the first one, you'll get the Easter eggs that are planted all the way through this, all the little things that are callbacks from the first movie, and that sort of enhances the experience. But no, this movie is not that complex. You can go and enjoy it without knowledge of the first one. And as for it playing in the theaters for 145 days, that is old school. That is what used to happen when movies were released. Now we're so used to seeing things in theaters, and then, you know, maybe sometimes as soon as 2 weeks later, they're on a streaming service somewhere, or you can pick them up quite easily outside of the theater. It used to be that movies stayed in theaters for however long they were popular. Yeah. Then they just sort of disappeared for a sizable window before they came out on DVD or VHS. That was to encourage people to see things in the movie theaters. And that's what Tom Cruise wants with this. And he's absolutely right. See this on the biggest, loudest screen that you can find. I saw it on an IMAX screen, and those aerial sequences are just immersive. You'll feel like you're in the plane with these hotshot pilots.
We need this, some good escapism. And Jon Hamm's in it. Richard Crouse, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again next week.
We'll talk about Jon Hamm another time. Thanks, Francia.